next most fundamental difference between this machine is the power unit before. This is the only machine out on the market today that does not use chains or sprockets that are all in itself quite cumbersome to ever go. This is a direct drive unit powering the pump, and then you also see you have a vertical drop of your material. One of the huge advantages of this system, if this tank is full of product, everybody else needs to remove their tank before they need to put on a new gear pump. On mine, you simply have to shut off the product and then remove on a swivel fitting here and on your hose, and then the bolts themselves for the pump. And this whole unit will come out, and you literally can put a new gear pump on one of these in under 10 minutes. Chains in themselves takes a lot of energy. You also have to have an idler pulley to keep the tension. If that tension ever loosens up, it could start to slip, and then you're going to have off ratio products. The other advantage of this system is that a gear driven system like this requires a lot less power. It's less energy usage than what you'd find in a chain and sprocket. The gear reduction box is super strong. In fact, it's so strong you could actually run a small lawnmower or a usable equipment. Another advantage of how I have this system, the electric motor is hooked directly into the gear reduction drive. That means if you ever have a bad motor, all you have to do is replace the electric motor itself, and that will save you about $300 over the other people who have gear reduction motors. This is a far simpler, more advanced system than anybody else is on the market. It's just like in the automobile industry. At one time, cars were chain driven, but today they have a transmission. Thus, I have a transmission, a very powerful transmission. Another advantage of this whole system, if you're looking this way, if you ever need to work on the entire system, you can easily remove this by undoing the cords, and this whole unit can come out and be placed on a workbench. It's very simple, it's easy to get to, you don't have to take off any covers, it's readily accessible. From the electric motor and the drive part of it, the next thing I like to go to the front of the machine is the hoses themselves. Most companies use a stainless steel hose. They also use a very skinny hose. This is a 1/2 inch hose versus a 1/4 inch hose. What does that mean to you? Number one, a 1/2 inch hose can operate your pump at a lower pressure of pushing the product out. What that does for you, number one, it requires less amp draw. The amp draw on my machine is a lot less. That means if you are running a battery, this machine will outperform any other pumps out there because the low draw just by the hose itself, and also the reduced energy it needs to run the pumps, where chains and sprockets require a lot more energy or wattage to operate. Another thing with my hoses, the cost of this hose itself, if you have to replace everything, you could actually go to Home Depot and buy the hoses and everything else and probably have your machine up and running the same day.